This is Nespa Raven, a low internet scrub starting at the bottom of Super Street Fighter 4. Earlier I went to you guys, the internet, for help to help me become at least average at this game. Follow me on my journey from the bottom. Hello everybody, and welcome to episode number 2 of Nespa Ravens from Scrub to Average. I am your host, Nespa Raven. Thank you for watching the first episode, and thank you for all your feedback. All of it goes into what I do the next week, whether it has to do with technical issues or Street Fighter issues that I have. And I do have them, and you fix them the best you can. But I have to meet you halfway. I've been playing, so the Code Red is out. I apologize for this being a week late. I plan on doing this every week. I didn't have a lot of game footage, because I have been spending a lot of time in the training room. I realized that I can't be skimping on that, because things aren't habit enough for me yet to just be able to go play. When I get a little bit flustered, I can't hit my keys at all, or can't hit any of the buttons I'm trying to hit. So not a lot of game footage, but we will have some. Don't turn it off. Don't fret. First, we're gonna go into what my strategy was this week with Ibuki. I talked about Sakura last week, but I play a lot more with Ibuki. I may have just given away a surprise. I'm going to just keep pretending like I've only been saying Ibuki. But yeah, here's kind of the general idea of what I'm trying to do with Ibuki. Really it all comes down to scoring a knockdown, either getting a neck breaker, like if you're playing someone who can throw fireballs, waiting for them to get sloppy with the fireball, slide under it, break their neck, and start your kunai. Or poking with the forward medium kick. It's the overhead attack, so people who are turtling, crouching down, blocking away, kick them in the head, and then try to follow it up with a combo. I've kind of worked on those a little bit. Overhead, and then I can light punch was the only one that I was able to get, but I can't overhead light punch because it's a far light punch, so I can't do target combo number 5, which would be great, but I can't. So they're making me link stuff instead of canceling stuff, and that's too much trouble for now, when compared to just being able to cancel stuff. And as you can see, talking about my target combos, the next idea was just to mash buttons. Shit happens. So, like I said before looking at this slide, that most of the training was actually done in the training room. Not so much working on combos, but working on inputs, making sure I could jump and throw a kunai every time, making sure every time I tried to do a spin kick, I did a spin kick. I think these are very, very important things for you to work on if you're also improving along with me. I would love to see you. I would love to see you in the training room with me, just practicing, making sure your inputs are good. This game has, for those of you just starting, this game is probably not like most of the games you've played before. I know it's not for me. Any fighting game really will not be like the games you were probably playing before, whether it's first-person shooters. Me personally, I played StarCraft. I still play StarCraft. I say it like I kicked it to the curb when I met this newer, flashier, younger Street Fighter. And but anyway, when you're playing games like that, like Call of Duty, League of Legends, games are anywhere from 15 minutes to an hour. So you play for an hour, you maybe lose 2 games, you maybe lose 1 game. But Street Fighter 4, I should just put 1 hour of me playing, and I can show you that you can lose like 30 games in an hour. And it's not an exaggeration at all. So it's way, way easier to get flustered in this game. So there's a couple things that you really should be working on up here and not actually in the game that you guys should be trying at home too. One is to stay out of your head, and the easiest way to do that is if you go on a losing streak and you can sense tilt is coming. It's so tempting to just click, just find the next match for me. Find it. I'm playing that guy again. And you do that and you're flustered and you start missing keys even more and more. So that's not necessarily a good idea. If you're flustered to the point where you can't input your commands, you're not going to be effective at all. So part 2 of how you need to overcome this being flustered is just being in the training room, doing the moves over and over and over. It can be a bit tedious, but if you do want, it's a good way, what am I trying to say? Once you get flustered, you're not thinking as well. Kind of like me on a webcam, talking to nobody, but there's a wall right behind this webcam. But it like throws me off so much because I can see me talking to me. But in game, when you're trying to think and you have to like, okay, now I want to Hadouken right now, and you have to think about the command. It just doesn't come out automatically. It's going to hurt you a lot more when you're flustered than in the beginning of your playing day. If you have to think about it rather than it just being habit. And I know that a lot of you are probably like, but the training room's so boring. And it can be, unless with the training room you make a montage out of it.
I wanna be the very best, like no one ever was. To catch them is my real test, to train them is my cause. I will travel across the land, searching far and wide. Each Pokemon to understand the power that's inside. It's you and me. I know it's my destiny. Oh, you're my best
So yeah, that's how I spent most of my time with Ibuki this week. Was just jumping and throwing that kunai. I have messed up so many kunai vortexes that, not that if I would have hit them I would have necessarily won the game, but it would have been a lot more helpful. If you can jump up and do your moves how you want to, obviously you're going to do a little bit better. So that's how we spent almost all of the time in the training room over these past couple weeks, fidgeting because I'm still nervous talking to the wall. I have a surprise for you guys. Maybe I don't know if I messed it up earlier or not. I'm not playing Sakura this week. After playing quite a bit of Ibuki and quite a bit of Sakura, I realized that maybe I'm not the be right in your face, try to kick your ass kind of player. So I'm going to be trying a little bit of Rose this week. That's right. And if we look at her game plan, according to posts on Shoryuken and the Prima Strategy Guide, and just watching Gutex because he just naturally turtles all the time, I figured Rose would be okay because I just stay on one side of the screen, away from fireballs. I have no idea what to do with her against rush down characters yet. Right now it's been mostly lose quickly so I can play other matches. But yeah, so just stand across and you can absorb fireballs so quickly. I think it takes 8 to fill your super all the way full. It's just so if somebody's spamming fireballs at you, you fill up your meter very quickly. And she has her pokes are so long, so those are really fun to do. I'll get into that later. And the training with her, I really didn't practice any of the combos. I just jumped straight into the game. I just mid-session decided that I wanted to try another character. So, not a lot of training. I only played like 4 or 5 matches with her. You'll see one later. The reason I chose Rose, other than just being a character I could turtle with and feel a little bit more comfortable with, is her animations are super cool, and her throw is really cool, and I think that's another really important part of this game, is making sure that you can say why you play the character you do. It doesn't have to be, because this one fits my playstyle the best. I like to turtle, but I play Ibuki because the neckbreaker looks awesome, and the kunai vortex is fun to try to do, and the target combos look cool into a neckbreaker, into the vortex again. So it just looks cool. It's fun to play. That's why Ibuki. And Rose is because she looks neat. Her scarf is awesome. I live in Nebraska. We can check the temperature right now. Last time I checked, it was like, yeah, it's -3, low of -7. That's Celsius. If you're curious, I live in Nebraska, but I read the temperature like a scientist, because I left beer in my car and I didn't want it to blow up, so I had to change it to Celsius, because 0, and beer will blow up in Fahrenheit. Beer. So yeah, so look at your own character and think about it. Leave down in the comments below who you play. Also, if you guys want, I'm interrupting what I'm talking about. If you guys want to leave me your character, if you play games for Windows Live, I guess. I don't have an Xbox yet. It needs fixed. It'll get there, I promise. And want to play some games with me, that's fine. I'll probably have time to play a few with you. If you're way too much better than me and you're not helping me, you're just kicking my ass, I'm going to get mad and I'm going to leave. But But if you want to play games and you're better than me and you want to help me, that's fine. I'd rather not be your punching bag for too long, unless I'm actually learning something from it. But, so yeah, did I go over everything I needed to in part 1? Talked about keeping your mind focused, practicing your moves in the training room, how important that is, and how that ties into being flustered and staying off tilt. Just having your moves down is going to keep you off tilt that much longer for long sessions online. And then I talked about my strategies and what I planned on doing with each character. So, I guess that will be it for part 1. We'll be back in part 2 to actually show you guys some games and go over some games with you. Yeah, so we'll go ahead and jump just right into these games and check them out. This first one I played against Sirkibu. I actually played him a couple times. The next game will also be against him, but it's Rose. You'll see a lot where I try to do a jump-in attack. I think it's jump, high kick. It's like the forward medium kick. I'm just a big fan of kicking people in the head right now. Still a lot of my kunai or vortexes I'm landing, and then for some reason this match I just wasn't trying to combo after them. And I get caught by a lot of just very, very common Ryu tricks that I just am not paying attention for. The more Ryus I played, the more I was like, oh, they all keep doing this. Mostly the Dragon Punch spamming, and that the throws or Dragon Punches after I block the Hurricane kick. So there's a lot of that. I'm still wasting a lot of EX. This guy's doing a good job not wasting fireballs for no reason. He apparently knows what they can do. So, only throws them when I'm down, never really across the map at me. I'm getting sweeps, but I'm not doing anything with the sweeps. And that Ultra never ever should have landed. I'm well aware of that. Yeah, so another wasted neck breaker. And a lot of the times when I get in close to somebody, the big mistake that I'm making is I'm still just hitting that sweep button. That should have been an anti-air, not an overhead attack. Yeah, so I lose to him pretty easily. Just trying to make in that game what I wanted to work. You'll see a lot better in this game where I am Rose, how the game plays out just a little bit better. So you can see me trying to absorb the fireballs quite a bit in this matchup. And just doing a much better job blocking, and I don't know her moves yet. I know how to absorb fireballs, and that's about it. I know she has a couple pretty easy cancels, so I just kind of go with those. Crouching, medium punch can go into like a soul spark or a drill. So crouching high punch also does that. So. In this game I didn't know she had a slide. That would have been super useful. And something else that I'm loving about both Ibuki and Rose right now, I think you see it right here, maybe not, is the air throws. Throwing people out of the air is fun. Yeah, so I try to block a couple more until I have super, and then I start moving in and try to get into that poke range, so I can start combos. Once I have a bar, I feel okay with it. I don't actually know any of the combos that I'm supposed to do when I have that bar, but I just wanted to get in the habit of being in the right position. Inner Scarf reaches a lot further than I thought it did, so yeah, played 2 with that guy and split him. I was pretty happy with the matches. If you see other things that I could have done, let me know. This next match is just a game I put in for fun because this guy was actually awful. Yeah, you can see the screen inputs. So just watch the amount of mashing that this guy does is kind of unbelievable. Fireball spamming at the beginning. Every time he tries to do a move, he does it 10 times. I miss a punch there. But I chose this game. It hasn't happened yet, but it's actually a good example of how good my games can actually look once I get the kunai going and once I start actually hitting my combos. Again, it kind of helped. I had no idea you could throw through that. That was just luck. It goes to show when your opponent makes mistakes and you can capitalize on them, how successful that can be. That's why I think Rose might work better for me, because I think she's more suited to that style of play. This guy just loves to Dragon Punch and hit all 3 buttons at the same time. I do miss a kunai there. All that montage making, I should have spent actually throwing more kunai instead of making montages, but I do it for you guys. Throw there and just missed it. Yeah, he just keeps spamming the fireballs like he doesn't know that I can slide under them. I don't know if this guy knows about walking down either. But he's got a lot of points. I think this was my last game because I wanted to end up with over 200 player points for the first time. And that I did. I don't know if you can tell there, but he was mashing down back, or just kicks, so I tried to poke him with my Ultra, and it worked, so. That will do it for episode number 2 of From Scrub to Average. Thank you again for everybody who's commented, tips, feedback, anything about the show. Keep commenting down in the comments. Comment on Reddit in r/Street Fighter 4 SF4 is what it is. You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at NespaRaven. No apostrophe like on the screen. NebraskaEsports.org. A big thank you for them. I go live on that site under the blog section. This show, 6 o'clock Central Time every Tuesday. So I have to go, but thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.